least we would be. There we go. Wouldn't be me if it all went right. Coolest soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages.
Yeah.
Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
Mm-hmm. I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps. Like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
All right. Now, we are, for whatever reason, the music doesn't want to play, which is a damn shame because the music is fantastic. Everyone in this game you will have heard before somewhere. The idea is that it is a point-and-click game. It's sort of an adventure mystery kind of thing. So you see my cursor here. Let me actually show the icons prominently. So we've got a bunch of different icons. We can walk somewhere, we can look at something, we can grab something, we can open things, push things, we can use things, we can say something to somebody, and we can ask questions. Yeah, Pookie knows. So if we look around, yep, that is Leah Remini, probably best known lately for her work on King of Queens with Kevin James.
Today's newspaper is on the counter.
So I look at it, it's today's newspaper. If I grab it,
Times-Picayune, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article about the Voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
yeah. So yeah, she was big on taking down Scientology. So that was the newspaper. Now we've got some things. One of the things about the Sierra games is that things that were highlighted were stuff that moved because like they weren't part of the background, and so their art was a little off. Cartoons are the same way, but it also kind of gives you the hint that you need to take them. So for example, the tweezers.
I'm going to take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home. Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem.
Oh. Well, Slasher, funny you should say that. Let's take a look at the register.
Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take. Or, in the case of St. George Books, the mistake.
So I'm going to take
I
this.
trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
I'm going to speed him up just a little bit. Let's see. Let's go into the back room here. I love this mask over here. This book was like a big part of me wanting to own a bookstore.
Gabriel, shut the refrigerator, please. I could smell it from here.
Women.
Forgot about that. Let's see what's
I'll
in
take
here.
this hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch-up.
I have played day one of this game so many times.
I might need a flashlight. All my clothes look the same, so why change them?
Yeah, that's a good point.
The typewriter's too heavy to lug round. Gabriel might as well leave that here.
I think I've got everything from...
Gabriel might as well leave that here.
I've got everything from back here. Climb the ladder.
If you try to look down my shirt one more time, I'm leaving.
Hell, just trying to refresh my memory.
I know what you're trying to refresh, and it isn't your memory. Get down.
Not bad.
There is nothing to move there. That shelf holds used copies of the Dime Strife series, secrets of unsolved ancient UFO mysteries and such. They just leap out the door.
Aliens.
Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Heinz Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling the guy was one sick puppy.
German poetry definitely hits different.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Spiel means game. Interesting.
So now you know when somebody's, talk about your spiel. I mean, what's the game? Let's see. Your dinner, that's a solid dinner. That is absolutely... I saw the mac and cheese, and that's really what did it for me.
Gabriel leaves through a German-English dictionary.
Himmel means heaven. Uh-huh.
Gabriel leaves through a German-English dictionary.
Dry means 3.
Gabriel leaves through a German-English dictionary.
Possessin means possessed. That's handy to know.
He really does sound like Benoit Blanc from Knives Out. You're not wrong.
Gabriel leaves through a German-English dictionary.
Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbread.
All right. Let's talk with Grace.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
All right, so there's Gabriel. And that's Grace Nakamura, his assistant.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much
Roll
of anything
credits.
about
Ding.
it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
Let's see.
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
This is clearly a product of the 90s, by the way.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me.
Yeah, I think I have heard of Killer Frequency. Is that is that the one where you're at a radio station and there's a serial killer trying to come in and get you?
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Good answer.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
Suit yourself.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Toss 'em.
Okie dokie. There's more when you want 'em.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay. Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's Humprey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station, at the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel, those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the Voodoo murders, would they?
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new Voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages. Thank God.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he's something else.
3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
I think we've gotten just about everything here. Oh yeah, no, he definitely does.
Good coffee.
Now, unfortunately, there seems to be some kind of an issue where the music isn't playing. And it should be, because that's what tells me when I actually score some points, because I've gotten the right gotten the right clue. I just kind of have to keep watching that to make sure it keeps going. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and head on out.
I'm going out.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh yeah, when he meets Liu Kang, and yeah, nah, that's a good shot. Okay, where do we want to go? We've got the Historical Voodoo Museum, we got the Dixieland Drug Store, we're at St. George Books, we got St. Louis Cathedral, Jackson Square Overlook, the Napoleon House, and the police. Let's go to the police station. And we will talk to the sergeant.
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know. Hey, it's a beignet guy.
Great, I'm starved.
Beignets.
Stay put, you.
You're not my
Hey, grab me
supervisor.
3, would ya?
Sure.
Apparently, I'm not actually that disruptive to the scene.
Thanks.
All right, so maybe we should just question him.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Me? Nothing. I'm a Catholic boy.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I'm not allowed to give out information on police cases.
Yeah, my own actions usually are the problem.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I'll tell you, I'm glad as hell it's not Mardi Gras. If it weren't for that 1 month a year, being a cop in New Orleans would be a real pleasure. As it is, I'd rather stick behind this desk.
New Orleans' finest.
Tell me about yourself.
Who, me? I'm the Desk Sergeant Frick. Why?
Frick?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Not at all.
I haven't played this game in 20 years. My whole desktop, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, my whole desktop was based around this game.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out at the crime scene. Sorry.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah. I got something for you, all right. Soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
Slasher, you have to know the desk sergeant's voice. This is the voice of my childhood, but he's the voice of your childhood, too.
Here's that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
You know this voice.
Gabriel is standing in the lobby of his friend Mosley's precinct. It smells like a cross between a hospital and brewery.
No one goes back there until I say so, mister.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look real quick at...
Those two objects. The envelope has Gabriel's name written on it, misspelled. Gabriel opens the manila envelope and finds 2 photographs. The photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy.
Yep. That's Jim Cummings.
He had hair then.
He is the voice of Winnie the Pooh. He was the voice of Scar in the second half of Be Prepared. Using Curie. Yeah. He's been in everything. And when this game came out, the TV show that I knew him from was Bonkers, which took place in Toontown, and he played both Bonkers, the Bobcat, who was a Toontown actor who had joined the police department, but he was also his partner, Lucky Paquel, who was a detective, looked just like Frick, but younger. Yeah, Cat Dog. Yeah, you look up Jim Cummings, and you're going to be like, this guy was in everything. Because he was. He played Nemesis, the river guardian in the Disney movie Hercules. Yeah, he's been in everything.
One of the photos from Mosley is an official Voodoo murders crime scene shot. A graphic close-up of a victim.
Yeah, he was the centaur that Hercules rescues Megara from. She didn't need rescuing. She had it handled. All right, so that's what Mosley gave us. Are you mad? Hey, Cypher, how are you doing? Here. Oh, I did not mean to go.
Gabriel cannot open or close that.
Didn't mean to go to church. I hate this.
Anyone seen Joe?
No, no one's seen Joe. Oh,
Coroner requests assistance at the
apparently the game not having music is
Anyone
normal?
seen Joe?
Seems like everybody else is having the same problem.
Anyone seen Joe?
I am going to save. Oh, I'll figure it all out.
Coroner requests assistance at the
Because we're supposed to have all this wonderful Dixieland ragtime music playing. Because you got the bands. You got all the bands here. Especially these guys. Love these guys.
A Cajun band, inventive as always with their instruments, is having a good old time on the lawn. Funny how catchy that toe tapping can be.
You white-faced geek! You want to eat my fist?
Everybody hates the mimes. Everyone is always hating on the mimes.
Hey, stop picking on me! I'll tell my dad!
A lone drummer beats out a haunting rhythm on a large African drum.
I'm sorry I had to work with the troublesome supervisor. Let's see if we can talk to the cop down here.
Coroner requests assistance at the
Could I ask you a few questions?
Not now, buddy. I'm busy.
I should have noticed that. Thanks.
Tell me he doesn't
Yeah,
sound like Johnny
right.
Bravo. Bro sounded exactly like Johnny Bravo. Not now, man. I'm busy.
Why, you nasty thing, you. I'll call the police, I will.
The trick is to get the mime to follow you. Down to the cup. But the mime will absolutely follow everyone else.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that. All right, mister. You want some of this?
Gabriel likes his own side.
Let's see.
Gabriel picks up the headset and listens.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South. Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you! Get away from that bike.
Sorry. Good day, officer.
Yeah, you too. Keep moving.
Coroner requests assistance at Maryland.
Alright, so now we can leave. So there's the crime scene. Here's our way back to the French Quarter. Let's go to Grandma Knight's house.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
So we're playing a game. You get bonus points if you can guess who the voice actors are. We've already had successful guesses for the desk sergeant and for Grace, the assistant. Now, Pukiwan and I, we sat and went through the cast. So we know kind of who's in it. But,
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
What can you tell me about Voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and granddad. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
now, she is also absolutely a voice from my childhood. Oddly enough, the character she played also looked just like this.
What do you know about the Voodoo murders?
Oh, Gabriel, nothing. And I don't want to. I sometimes wonder what this world is coming to.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is very southern. Of course, though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast and that California stuff. Still, it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
It is not Blanche. It is not Rue McClanahan. That is a good guess. It does sound like her.
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden. I also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening up.
You're not old.
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Tell me about before you met Granddaddy.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. We grew peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things. It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
If everybody gives up, I'll tell you who she is.
Tell me how you met Granddaddy.
I
Or at
met
least where
her
she's
at
from.
a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone antics, and a piece of it, one of those small add-on doos for man, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
She was the voice of Aunt May Parker. She was the voice of Aunt May Parker in the 90s Spider-Man. That's who that is. That's Aunt May.
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Cypher, you never saw the 90s Spider-Man cartoon? Oh my god. It was so mid. It was actually really good. As far as like the 90s, it wasn't X-Men, but it was pretty good. It also wasn't Batman. Like, Batman the animated series was the best. But it was okay.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Yeah, Aunt May keeps getting younger and younger. It's not going to be long before Spider-Man's played by a baby and Aunt May's like 17.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
All right, dear.
Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Exposition time.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip.
Tell me about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him.
Take care, Cypher. Have yourself a good night.
Terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will. You know, you
Compliment her.
get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head on upstairs.
I'm going to go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
It's that New Orleans dust. It'll get you.
There's a sketchbook on the chair that Gabriel vaguely remembers as his father's.
Well, we're gonna take that.
I think I'd take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
Gabriel doesn't want to take the clock. An elaborate mechanical clock,
Spooky
probably
dust.
of German origin, is among the discarded treasures of the attic. It doesn't seem to be running at the moment.
Of course it's not running. Clocks don't run, they tell time. Pinhead's fun. Okay, we have our first puzzle. Let's see. Oh,
Why move that part of the clock?
now the puzzle here is actually related to the book we read in St. George's books. It was the Drei Drachen. So we
The
need
face of the clock doesn't move.
let's see.
The face of the Nothing happens.
Oh. No.
Nothing happens.
There we go.
Granddaddy, you old fox.
So, Drei Drachen, Drei Uhren Mittag or something like that. Basically, is you need the dragon and you need 3 o'clock.
Why do that to the photo?
Why not do that to the photo?
Gabriel doesn't want to.
Take the clock. All right, let's see what I got. All right, well.
The old photographs show Gabriel's grandfather with 2 other men that Gabriel has not identified.
All right, let's.
The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter, whoever that is.
Heinz Ritter was the author of the German poetry book.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the recurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of quill-tip bold strokes and underlining.
So, we've got some extra plot. Sorry, I just had somebody try to sell me porn on Discord. It's like, no. Google's free. So we've got some exposition happening here. The letter is to mein Sohn Heinz. Heinz Ritter is the author of that book. and the book carried the secret to the clock. And we know that his grandfather came from Germany. Move the clock. Let's see what's in the chest.
I don't think there's anything in that trunk that would interest anybody but my gran.
The trunk contains...
Oh.
The trunk doesn't operate.
My bad.
The trunk contains lederhosen, hiking boots, German books, and a bundle of Granddad and Gran's love letters.
That would make sense then.
That box of knickknacks has been up there for at least 5 years. It's an old metal tub full of dust and cobwebs. The brass bed frame is from God knows where.
She does have a great sense of humor.
That's it. Take a load off, hon.
That's exactly what I'm
Can
going
we
to do.
talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
All right, so we've got some new stuff. We've got Heinz Ritter and Schottenjäger.
Do you know anyone named Heinz Ritter?
Heinz Ritter. Oh, Gabriel, where did you hear that name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father. But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America. He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
Why did Granddad change his name?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. He never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer. Since he obviously found it painful, I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure it wasn't trouble with the law. Your granddad was the best man I ever knew.
Come from good stock.
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or his family?
Only that his family was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse, thought that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called old nightmares. Whatever Harrison wanted to spare you, though, it cost him plenty. He never did sleep well, and he would often get a far-away, guilty look in his eyes. He was wrestling with something he thought he should be doing, someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
Well, now let's ask about Schottenjäger.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Schottenjäger? Schottenjäger. How odd, Gabriel. I haven't heard that word in years. My goodness, you've given me a chill. Your granddad used to say that sometimes in his sleep.
Really? Do you know what it means?
No, I'm afraid not. I asked him about it once. I don't think he answered me. Odd.
Thanks, Gran.
I am happy that you're here, though.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
I don't know what...
It is going good. We are playing actually one of my favorite games from my childhood. So we've now figured out who our grandfather was and something of his past that was very not pleasant. So we're going to go ahead and head on out with the correct icon.
Well, Gran, I better get going.
All right, dear.
Alright, well, we might as well go ahead and head to the crime scene. It's good seeing you too. Let's see what's what.
The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Hey, mostly.
Huh? Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Oh, we're never gonna guess who plays Mosley.
Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh? It's another one. As you can see, same M.O. and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that? Good day, Miss Getty.
What's going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Well.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Malia Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
I never would have guessed this
voice. Take
voice.
notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the cake.
Thanks.
Alrighty. Let's copy this down.
Let me try to get this down.
And let's do some Sherlocking.
It's very large grass. Gabriel is already magnifying the grass.
Very large grass. Now you know.
There doesn't seem to be anything unusual there that would call for using tweezers.
Oh, he's in the new Garfield show? Oh my god.
It's very large grass. There are marks in the grass, as though some heavy wire object had been set there. Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
The lines in the sand are fairly large. Magnification wouldn't make them any clearer.
I do love how this game basically tells you whatever it is you're trying to do isn't going to work, and they have to think of what you're going to try and do and then write a script for it. And that's why games like this absolutely blew my mind. Completely blew my mind. Because they had to plan for everything you were going to try. So they not only had to work out what the right course was, but all the wrong courses.
There seems to be a pattern to the lines in the sand, but if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined. Out damned spot. Will these pristine banks ne'er be cleaned again?
I've never heard that one before. I even quoted on the regular. Now, let's head back to the French Quarter. Where do we want to go? Excuse me. Let's head to the Historical Voodoo Museum.
Hi. Look around all you want.
Okay, thanks.
An official voodoo wish and stump. Rub it and make a wish, a card says.
Funny, I say the same thing to women.
That line has lived in my brain rent-free for 20 years. Yeah. Longer than 20 years. Like, oh God. Like 25 years. It's been about 25 years that one rub it and make a wish a card reads. Funny, I say the same thing to women. Absolutely.
A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
No step on snake.
Could I ask you a few questions?
I wouldn't be much help. You should talk to Dr. John, the owner. He'll be back tomorrow.
I see. Thank you.
On the table is a small coffin. So small, in fact, that it would only fit an infant.
Charming.
Well, we'll go ahead and leave.
I'll be gone now, thanks.
So long.
She seems so excited. Let's pop over to San Luis Cemetery number 1.
Could I have a minute of your time?
What you need, boy?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
That gallows humor.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody's trying to cover their tracks is all.
That makes sense.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seem like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives, and they love the cemetery tour. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know what you talking about.
That is such a weird word, too.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis number 1.
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, of course, but a big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound they don't know what they doing.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves. Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice.
Accurate.
Tell me something about...
What else we
It's
got?
a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War and back further, too. Take a look around, you'll see.
All right, let's take a look around. Clearly something written here. Let's copy that down.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
And we're at 42 of 342, only 300 points to go.
Gabriel can't take the marks with him that way.
Oh, it's a brick. That's right. Oh. Bye.
This is the tomb of Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. Odd-looking marks adorn the Laveau tomb wall. St. Louis Cemetery number 1 is one of the most historic and beautiful places in the French Quarter.
Well, now you know.
New Orleans is famous for its above-ground tombs. The high water table prevents bodies from being interred underground. The name Ross is inscribed on this old tomb.
We do not know who that is. All right, we're going to follow Toussaint Gervais. All right, there's right. So that would be Grandma's family. That'd be Granny's family.
The Wright family tomb. Several of Gabriel and Grant's family members are laid to rest here. A grinning grotesquerie tops one section of the cemetery fence.
Oh, okay. Bye. Little things like that add life to the game, where it's like people are living their lives around you.
A wrought iron fence.
Oh.
A wrought iron fence surrounds this tomb.
I hope that's to keep people out.
I have kept that joke in my repertoire my whole life.
The marker reads, Mirror planter right.
These are Grand's folks. I never knew 'em.
The marker reads, Harley right.
Grand's sister. She died young.
The marker reads, Franklin Wright.
These are Grand's folks. I never knew 'em.
So that'd be Grand's mother and father, her sister.
The marker reads, Harrison Knight.
Granddaddy.
Granddaddy.
The marker reads, Philip Knight.
Daddy.
The marker reads, Margaret Templeton Knight.
My mother. Hey, Daddy. Miss you, Mom. How's it going, Granddaddy?
I like that he talks to his family. All right. Let's go ahead and hop on out of here. Dang it. I meant to go to the Dixieland drug.
Hi. Look around all you want.
Okay, thanks. I'll be going now, thanks.
So,
When you cut her off, she's just like, so. Alright, Dixieland drugstore.
Hi.
The sign says, Special Saint Jean Eve, Lagnappe, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Let's see. Let's talk to the
Mind if I ask you a few
owner
questions?
here.
Ask what you want. I'll answer what I want.
That's fair.
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Okay.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Cabriz Sancour.
What did you say?
Nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Calliope has taken to curling up on my desk a little more than usual because of all the fireworks.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I've lived here all my life, me.
Oh, I totally get that. You have yourself a good night.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
I mean, that's a fair point.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
And if you believe that...
What did you mean when you said Cabriz Sancour?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Absolute gaslighting.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
What else about you?
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
That's fair.
The mask appears to be made from a real crocodile head.
Takes you back to Crocodile Dundee.
The Dixieland drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some or all of which seems to be related to the practice of voodoo. A variety of cloth dolls are arranged above the shelf, each impaled with a single silver pin.
Found the cursed object. It's Voodoo doll. Looks like we're not gonna get much here. Take a look at the Napoleon house. Okay, quiet.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I'm not too busy at the moment.
Like the guy's outfit.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? I don't believe in it myself. I invented a drink once called Laveau's Tomb, but it wasn't very popular. Some people do believe, though. Even some of our regulars here at Napoleon House.
You got the intro song to Dead Island on repeat. That's rough.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
It's all over the papers. Some kind of serial killings.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Greatest city in the world. I'd never want to live anywhere else.
Oh, who do the voodoo? Yeah.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What about them?
Oh, just anything.
Man, you ask the weirdest questions. I don't know anything about snakes.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
All I know is it's some kind of voodoo holiday.
Does the phrase caprice encore mean anything to you?
You know what goes in it?
I don't think it's a drink.
Oh, then I probably don't know anything about it.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Never heard of it.
Heard of a Jägermeister, though.
Tell me about yourself.
A good bartender listens to other people's life stories without telling his own.
That's fair.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
This crowd, the ones you see, are mostly regulars. That guy and girl in the corner come here a lot. When they're not fighting, they're all over each other. In other words, they're in love.
Schatten is German for shadow.
What can you tell me about your regulars in here?
See those old guys at the chess table? That's Sam and Marcus. They played every day for 20 years. Sam, the one with the purple jacket, he's lost every one of those games. It's not that he's a bad player. I've seen him beat guys twice as good as Marcus. But Marcus has Sam so psyched out, he loses his nerve every time. By the way, Sam, the chess player, he's into that voodoo stuff. He's always talking about spells and gree-gree and stuff.
Blake.
Really? Thanks. Tell me about the street musicians around here.
I like music as much as the next guy, but they get pretty monotonous sometimes, you know? Like that drummer right outside. They say there's been a drummer outside Napoleon House since the day it opened. I like drums, but this character really gets on my nerves. It sounds like the same thing over and over. I just want to say, Enough already.
Sounds like my life. So what has Sam told you about voodoo?
Well, about 50 years ago, Sam was too shy to talk to this pretty girl he was in love with. He went to a voodooine and had her make him a love charm. It was a little pouch that he had to bury under the girl's front porch. Well, he buried the pouch, and the next day he went up and talked to the girl, and, sure enough, she didn't reject him. Now she's his wife. Poor guy.
So clearly it must have been the voodoo instead of just, you know, he could have gone up and talked to her. Alright, let's talk to Sam.
Excuse me. I hate to interrupt your game, but could I ask you a few questions?
What game? This isn't a game. It's a slaughter.
He's right, you know, so let me die in peace, would you?
Checkmate. Again.
Son of a bitch.
Neither of those voices sound like they come from those two guys. Neither of them do. Ugh. Alright. Let's go check out St. Louis Cathedral. Right? It absolutely sounded like that one meme. Son of a bitch. Like the door was open.
Nothing on that shelf interests Gabriel. The closet shelves are stocked with the odds and ends of a saintly life. In other words, nothing Gabriel is familiar with.
Nothing
the closet shelves are there's a box of white priest's collars in the closet.
Well, you never know when a priest's collar will come in handy.
Truth.
I can't resist black.
And that is fair. So now that we're done looting the church. Let's head back to St. George Books.
Phew, it's humid out there. Made it back, though.
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat outside in June. I could smell you from here.
That's rude. Oh.
Hey, kids.
Bruno. How nice.
Gee, a customer.
Of yours? Hardly.
How's the flower business?
Well, better than the used book business, I see.
Rare books.
That explains why I so rarely see anyone in here. Are you going to sell me that wonderful painting of yours today?
It's my dad's painting.
How much would you give me for it, Bruno?
Gabriel, don't you dare sell your father's painting.
Well, I guess I don't need the money that badly.
From the looks of this shop, I'm sure you will, my boy. And soon.
They made him a little obvious.
Gabriel doesn't even want to know what Grace keeps in those drawers.
All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and head on over, see if we can talk to Detective Mosley.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Have fun.
Good Lord. Let me see if I can get past the desk sergeant.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Nice. Ooh. Speed reading auras sounds good.
Hey, mostly.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
So has anybody figured out who plays Detective Mosley yet? It is a... We also haven't had any guesses on Gabriel. So far we got Leah Remini playing Grace, Jim Cummings playing Desk Sergeant Frick. The actress who played Aunt May in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon is Gran.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
These two look nothing like their actors.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all faked. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Lots. Can you be more specific?
Do you know anything about the killers?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scenes.
Footprints? Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be. But we'd have to have a suspect in custody first, and the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the Voodoo murders case. Now, the first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The M.O. was the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
I don't recall ever hearing it pronounced that way.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur?
Leopard fur?
Describe the crime scenes.
Now there's the corpse itself, minus the heart. Around where the body was killed, we find marks and flour and blood. There are traces of wax from candles, red and black. Ordinary wax candles, so the lab reports. Also blood and feathers of chickens. Also goat's blood. And plenty of the victim's own, of course.
What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Oh, lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Don't even want to know.
Lovely.
Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic dagger.
Any witnesses?
Nope. There's never been a single witness. No one's even heard a disturbance.
Damn.
It's damned weird. Like they just don't want people to see, and so nobody sees nothing.
Well, damn.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Well, that's...
Oh, nothing, never mind.
Sure, no problem.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
You and me grew up together. You tell me. It's a pretty nice place, even seeing the stuff I see. You know. The quarter's getting a bit too wild, though. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but... hell, I've never known anything else.
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like 'em.
That's fair.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
Hmm.
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans coeur means?
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Ha! Is that anything like a Chuck Yeager?
It definitely is
I don't
not.
think there's any relation.
Definitely is not.
Tell me about yourself.
For the book?
Sure, why not?
Okay, what do you want to know?
How'd you like working on the police force?
Are you kidding? You know I love being a cop. In New Orleans, it's the best place in the world to be one.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, you know, I don't like to count my chickens before they're hatched, but I don't see why I can't be the chief of police in New Orleans someday. I already know the mayor, and my record is one of the best in the department.
I'm sure it's just a matter of moments, mostly.
Yeah, you'll see.
Got any hobbies?
Yeah, making your life miserable.
I'm serious. Don't you shoot or chew or something like that?
No, I'm a freaking ballet dancer. Jeez. Yeah, I was #1 at the Louisiana State Fair Marksman Contest. I play trumpet, too. You know, put your lips together and blow.
So the goal of this, basically, we're researching for a book that we're writing about voodoo murders. And we're kind of loosely basing a lot of the material off of the actual voodoo murders that are happening in New Orleans. But as we're going through this, we're also getting kind of glimpses into our family's past that we just didn't have before. And everything's coinciding sort of in a weird way. So it's very much, it really plays kind of like a visual novel. A lot of these old Sierra games did, where you've got like a story that's on railroad tracks and you've got to play through it. Now, these kind of point and click adventures for some of the more active games like King's Quest, Quest for Glory, those series, those were a lot more of you're going through and there are a series of dangers and they're actually things like they're actually like things that'll kill you. Like in Quest for Glory 4, which I had on the same CD set as a kid that I had this one on. It's very Lovecraftian. There are ghosts and werewolves and vampires and now because it's still written by Sierra, it is loaded down with puns and references to pop culture and stuff like that. But the game itself, you are either a fighter, a thief, or a mage, or if you've beaten the game, you can be a paladin, which is a fighter, thief, and mage. And you basically play the game again, but you have all the abilities unlocked. Makes it much easier. This one is much more of a visual novel. It's mystery. So you're trying to solve the puzzles and investigate things rather than fighting bad guys and leveling up stats, that sort of thing. So this is definitely much more of like a visual novel.
How's your home life?
Oh, real funny, Knight. Why don't you just bring in some frickin' salt? Well, you know Annie left me. My home life is shit.
Right. Sorry about that.
Oops.
Just tell me anything at all.
Remember how we used to play monkey in the middle? We used to piss off our senior year teacher. What was her name? Ms. McKelly? You'd act like you were gonna toss her an eraser or something. Then you'd throw it to me over her head. And we used to do it at your grand's, too. Like with the remote when she wanted to watch her soaps.
Yep. And it was a great way to pick up women in the library. Oh, those were the days.
It was a very 90s game.
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
It's your dime.
But this game, unlike a lot of the other games, this game is like a complete star-studded cast. So that's why I'm kind of playing this thing. Like you get some bonus points if you can guess who the actors are. But bragging rights mostly. Let's see. Talked about himself.
What's the status on the Voodoo murders case?
It's going. Can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now.
Gets him out of the room.
Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
I'm gonna touch everything.
There's no reason.
Not me. I've seen.
Mostly.
Damn it.
Here, drink it.
Thanks. Can I ask you about some...
You're the writer.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer. Franks, come here a minute, would you? And bring your camera.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Casual.
Sure, sweetheart.
Casual sexual harassment, you know.
Say, chintzy.
Chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
It's an inbox. It's a file. Gabriel scans the bullet. There's a photocopy.
There we go.
Would you just get in here?
Sorry. So I'm supposed to look at something on his desk.
Hurry up, would you?
Slip it in my...
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the...
All right, let's get some more coffee.
How about getting me some...
What am... Hey. Yeah.
All right.
Some people...
Yeah. Some people are never satisfied.
Gabriel would prefer to tell. Gabriel nah. Gabriel cannot open.
Oh no, he's coming back. Damn it.
Here.
Thanks.
Police the logs of an intercom. How? Mosley's office looks a lot like his room at college. Logs of
All right, we gotta figure out what
art prints of the mall variety. Art prints of the mall variety.
Oh, that mall art.
Can I ask you about some...
You're the writer. Ask a...
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around them. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Ooh,
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
There we go.
The suit doesn't open.
I don't want the suit. I want the door. All right, let's talk to Franks. Especially since now we know which one Franks
Can
is.
I ask you a few questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to finish these reports.
Excuse me,
Yes?
Can you get a file for me?
Yeah.
What file would that be?
The Voodoo murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so.
There's like no security in this police department. Absolutely none.
There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
All right, let's...
It's the official police file.
Let's open the thing. Ooh.
The police file contains partial patterns from the first 6 Voodoo murders.
No, that's good to know.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
That's what we need. So now we need another photo. Well, he just zipped right over there. Then we fix our hair, make photocopies.
Can
So
I
that's
ask
how
you
this
about
game
some
works.
stuff?
The whole thing is just one big
You're
puzzle.
the writer. Ask away.
But all the clues, or most of the clues, are actually in these conversations.
I got those photographs you left.
So you...
Let's get another cop author shot.
Let's take another cop author shot.
What for?
I don't think we got your best side.
Really? Okay. I'll have Franks come in again.
All right, now we're getting it.
Franks, come back in here with that camera.
Now what, sir?
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Anything else, Knight?
Now I gotta fix my hair.
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
Let me see that file again.
Now, let's see. Actually, we open it up.
The police file.
Okay, we don't need that. Now we make the photocopies that we ain't supposed to
Just
have.
want to check this machine here.
Super innocent. We'll just put this back. And there we have it.
Would you just get in here?
Sorry.
Hurry up, would you?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, I think that has got it, so we're going to go ahead and head on out.
I'll let you get back to it.
Have a good one.
Hey, Grace. Here I am.
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat outside in June. I could smell you from here.
She's so mean. Sorry, Calliope is walking behind my monitors, and that always makes me nervous. But you can't tell a cat where not to go. Let's see. Head back over here.
St. George Books could use some serious renovation, but Gabriel likes to think that the place has character.
It does have character. Let me actually pop back over to, Park.
I'll be back later.
See ya.
Jackson Square.
Why, you nasty thing, you. I'll call the police, I will.
It's this mime going around harassing people. Alright. It's not what we need. Let's see if we can maybe do something about the drummer out here.
Gabriel cannot do anything with the drummer on the street.
That's unfortunate.
Bastard!
You're a sore loser.
Let's see what's up in the Overlook.
The binoculars don't open.
Okay.
4 pairs of binoculars.
There we go. Okay, so this is literally just the Overlook. There's nothing else to it. Okay. Okay, there's nothing there. Let me see if I can do something with... that.
Does this mean anything to you?
Nope.
I don't know anything about that at all.
Well, damn. Alright, bye.
I knew you'd miss me, so I came back.
I wish you wouldn't...
Yeah, I know. I smell funky. Let me actually talk to Grace and see if I can get her to research something.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Could you see what you can find out about
Getty.
a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, you know, stuff about the Voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
Mm-hmm. They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
The murders.
Okay.
Do you know what caprice encore means?
No. Sounds French, though.
It does sound French.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Har har.
Very funny. I mean real snakes. You know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
Mm-hmm. I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay, thanks.
A clue.
Well, it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
And that is actually where we are going to end it tonight. I kind of want to do each day as its own thing. So stick around if you are on Twitch. We're going to go ahead and raid out. I know it is a little bit early, but we will be back. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, so everybody please have a safe 4th of July. Keep all your fingers. But we will be back, I think maybe Friday or Saturday or something. Something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Check in on friends and family. Stay safe, stay cool, stay warm, stay hydrated, and above all, stay dapper. And we'll catch you next time.
I mean the kind of music men hum or whistle when they feel on top of the world. And gentlemen, one of the many things that give you that lift-up feeling is the pleasure of being well-dressed. The kind of music men hum or whistle